This is Kenny with Just the Right Angle, doing a quick update on a few events that happened last week. You can follow me, of course, Just the Right Angle on Rumble, also YouTube account Keep Arkansas Legal. Biggest news of the day, and this is posted by Conduit News, happened a few days ago. The North Arkansas election commissioners were reprimanded but not decertified over election law breaches. This is a 6-minute read. I won't read the whole thing. Hello, folks. This is Kenny with Just the Right Angle. What happened was the election commissioners in Searcy County had conducted multiple elections with the use of hand-counted paper ballots, not using the ES&S machines. The Arkansas State Board of Election Commissioners, who are appointed by elected officials, had originally planned on punishing them with up to 14 years of being banned from taking part in elections. Instead, thanks to a lot of activism and support from conservatives who showed up at their hearing on August 6th, the commissioners instead issued letters of reprimand. Their attorney was Clint Lancaster. And of course, this hearing went on for several days. I actually did a live stream of it. You can see on my Rumble page when this took place. I was able to film and live stream most of this event. And there was a little bit of drama. There was a little bit of highlights. There was actually an incident where the chair had some kind of hemorrhaging of the ear and had a little bit of a medical issue. But in the very end, overall, the conservative efforts won. And here's a small video. This is Michael White, who was interviewed by Conduit News after the meeting, and he gives a little bit of a summary of what happened in a quick video like this.
The state board maybe got it wrong on findings of issue 1 and 2, got it right on issue 3 and 4. However, I was very pleased to see that they had a tempered response. We did not decertifying the commissioners. From here, it gets interesting, but today I view as a win. I think the state board maybe got it wrong.
So again, that's Conduit's Facebook page, and of course, Michael White's he's actually a election commissioner in Pulaski County. Very strong conservative, and so we may see from this more counties in the state of Arkansas start to lean toward going for paper ballots. There is an organization called Arkansas Voter Integrity Initiative that's pushing for this effort, but they had a huge win today. And here's a little bit of some of the hearing from earlier. This is from my YouTube page. I use it because it has closed captioning. So I'll go ahead and full screen and play a little bit of this, just about the first 2 minutes, so you can get an idea of what happened here. So, folks, that's the kind of stuff that happened. Basically, when they did this investigation, there were a number of charges that were leveled against these commissioners. They were not allowed to defend themselves, and the Arkansas Election Commission had an agenda to basically keep these people from ever running an election and to send a message to other counties to not dare make an effort to do anything regarding paper ballots. But it looks like after this, and thanks to the efforts of concerned citizens, people spoke up, got involved, and they want this. Of course, Trump has talked about this issue. The conservative Mike Lindell has talked about this issue as well. And as I said before, Arkansas Voter Integrity Initiative, a guy running for office named Colonel Conrad Reynolds, who ran for Congress last election, he has gotten heavily involved in this effort. I've mentioned them before. I have links to them on my page. You can visit them, find out more about this issue, how to get involved in it. Another thing that has happened, this is apparently happened yesterday. Of course, all over the country, there has been ICE raids, Immigration Customs Enforcement, and they have been rounding up illegal aliens. It's been part of Trump's effort to remove illegal aliens from the United States of America. Now it's proved that Arkansas State Police have signed an agreement with ICE, and it compels cooperation between law enforcement and ICE. Oftentimes what has happened is when an illegal alien is pulled over for running a stop sign or even sometimes major crimes, they have to be released back into the public. Sometimes they're not even punished at all, or they're just put in jail for a night but then released back into the public. And that has literally gotten people killed. And so now a memorandum agreement signed by the Arkansas State Police Director Colonel Tom Hagar and U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement Deputy Director Madison Shenhan will allow state troopers to perform some immigration officer functions. Now, the problem is this going to be done in some of these blue cities, such as Little Rock and Fayetteville, that in the past have declared themselves sanctuary cities or have had de facto sanctuary city policies? As we know in the past that Little Rock has issued IDs to illegals, North Little Rock has done the same, and it has, as I said before, led to people being harmed. Here is one example. I shared this story when it came out in September, how an illegal alien who had been previously deported ended up killing in a car accident, and this was September 8th, Jennifer Ann Morton. She was someone who worked at Arkansas Children's Hospital. This illegal from Honduras had crashed into her, veered basically was a head-on with a Ford F-150 and killed the poor woman. He was actually trying to walk away from the scene. He was booked into Pulaski County Detention Center on several charges, including negligent homicide, battery, DUI, violation of the Concealed Weapons Act. Since he committed a felony and he had a gun on him, then that is an additional crime. Reckless driving, driving without a license, and failure to stop after accident with death. He had been apprehended in 2018 by the U.S. Border Patrol in El Laredo, Texas. He was removed from the United States and transported back to Honduras in 2018. But he came back, and this kind of story, of course, has happened all over the nation. So hopefully these policies that are being implemented, in large part because of conservative demands that something be done about illegals, we'll see less of this. This is by the website Border Hawk. It's one of many organizations that focuses on illegal immigration. So do check them out, where they talk about all kinds of stories regarding this issue, stories that you should have heard before on TV and newspapers but won't. And speaking of another story, this one's gotten a little more popular. This is Prison Gate. This is a website called Arkansas for Freedom. I'm not sure who actually does this website, but it seems that they mainly focus on this issue. There is an attempt by Sarah Huckabee Sanders to build a massive prison in northwest Arkansas area. It was supposed to cost around 825 million, and now it's ballooned into a multi-billion-dollar project. This post says 5 billion. Everyone else, it's 1.5 billion at a minimum, and there's all kinds of drama that's happened with this. This post gives a little bit of a description of some of the problems with this. There's a problem regarding utilities. There has been, well, this is about the budget surplus, but let me go here to specifics regarding the prison. And this is on their Facebook page. On the same day, Sanders awarded Vanier Construction Management a $16 million prison project. Her own company, Second Street Strategies LLC, received a little more than $500,000 from Policy Over Party, a union-funded super PAC tied to the construction industry. Then there's also an issue of DEI hypocrisy. Sanders has banned DEI funding in Arkansas. There are several bills regarding that were passed in this last session, but there have been contracts handed to Vanier and another company called J.E. Dunn Construction, both of which proudly advertise DEA and inclusion program on their websites. There's also something regarding, this is on near some Indian tribal grounds called the Chickamauga Nation. And apparently they're being it violates some treaty regarding them. Okay. And then there was some kind of fun strategy session between Sarah Huckabee Sanders and her husband Damon Henninger, CEO of Core Civic, the largest private prison company in America, as well as Jeff Landry, I guess governor of Louisiana. And of course, Core Civic is one of Sanders' top donors. So there's a lot of other things that you can look on this Facebook page if you want to check out more of this. They have all kinds of posts about this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It'd take too long. But I just wanted to briefly mention, since it is a big story that's happening in the state. And another big thing that's going on is federal judges seem to be overturning a lot of what's going on in the state. And it's been a problem that I've mentioned before that could be solved with a lot of defunding if our legislators on both the state and federal level would cut the funding to some of these activist judges. Here's a story of the activist judge that put a hold on the law regarding requiring the 10 Commandments in schools. Now, this only applies to the 4 school districts that filed the lawsuit, which is, I think, Fayetteville, Siloam Springs. I think there's actually a Christian college in Siloam Springs, and I think there's 2 others. But it's one example of federal judges just overturning the will of the people. We are a constitutional republic. We are a Christian constitutional republic. We are not a judicial tyranny. And the founders put in place checks and balances regarding this. Here's another story. This is from the Democrat Gazette. Arkansas Corrections Department must provide a separate space for Muslim inmates' prayer services, federal judge rules. So it's bad enough if Muslims are allowed to go in and recruit people in our prisons. Now they get their own separate prayer space. And of course, we see bigger examples of this happening in Europe, where Muslim gangs are basically allowed to get away with any crime at this point. That's how it starts, with stuff like this. And so, yes, judicial activism is becoming a big problem. But you can check the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. You may have to subscribe to read the details of this, but this is the headline. It's a subscriber exclusive, but you get the point. And last but not least, just to give an update, there are a lot of important elections dates that are coming up. The 2026 election is just around the corner. September 11th at noon is the first day for nonpartisan prosecutor and judicial candidates. That ends September 18th. And then November 3rd is going to be party filing. That's those who want to run for the Republican Party or what's left of the Democrat Party. That's the day to come in and file and pay your filing fee. Of course, the Republican Party of Arkansas's leadership under the direction of the corrupt consultant class, has increased the fees. But it's November 3rd at noon, and it goes on from November 3rd to November 11th. A lot of county committees their part of their job is to set their filing fees for the positions within that county. As mentioned before, the state Republican Party has already set theirs, and they've increased it. And of course, you can see these dates here on the Arkansas Secretary of State's website. Well, folks, that's about it. Just wanted to give a quick update on some things that have happened. Again, you can follow me at Just the Right Angle for more updates on issues that affect you. Other than that, you all have a great day.